Well, this is going to be a very short vlog, just to show what I've been doing to my Blackbird. Been doing a few jobs over the winter, but as you can see, I fitted what they call a Ducktail mud flap on the back, and I just thought I'd put a few measurements in so that people could put one on if they wanted to, because you can't just fit it. I had an old mud flap, years ago, God knows what it was from. Originally, it's very flexible, and I had it fitted up underneath the mud flap, number plate rather, and it was a bit too flexible. I mean, it was about 3 inches below the number plate, so it did save some mud and crap coming up, because I live semi-rural, and even on the dry road you pick up all sorts of muck, and it used to flap about a bit, because, you know, as everyone knows, behind the bike you get a partial vacuum at the back, the aerodynamic effect, and it tends to suck the mud flap in. So either I needed to strengthen that up a bit, back it, and do something to stop it moving about, or to replace it. So I saw online these Ducktail mud flaps by Pyramid, and I thought, well, they look really strong, they won't move in the partial vacuum at the back of the bike. So I'll take it off very quickly. I had to modify it slightly to make it more effective and more useful, but I'm hoping that it will keep quite a bit of the muck off the back of the bike, particularly on the underside of the top box. So we'll just pull him off and take the number plate off, and as you can see, it's quite nicely made. It has strength through shape, made by Pyramid, and it comes with sticky tape, 3M presumably, 3 strips, and what normally it does is, presumably on some bikes, it will just stick up underneath the number plate. You can't just stick it up under here, because there's all sorts of indents, so it was never going to fit. So I decided to put a plate on it, an alley plate. So it's a bit of 2mm plate I had kicking around, and so I used the sticky stuff, the backing tape, to stick it on, but because there is such a pull from the vacuum, I put 2 little bolts through, countersunk set screws, just to be on the safe side. So I popped those on, stuck the thing on, drilled through, popped those in, and I found the best dimension was 16 centimeters by 15. That's a 5mm piece there that normally fits, presumably on some bikes, underneath the number plate. So I drilled through where the original holes were from the shop. It's interesting how every bike I've ever had, no one's ever taken any trouble about the way they fit number plates. They always do it to sort of look right. It's never measured. So when I drilled through these 2 points here, I slotted it so that you had a bit of adjustment, so that you could get the ducktail in the right position relative to the rear wheel, because, as I say, the number plate was never put on accurately. I've never had one that has been. I had to get rid of the nice plastic yellow nuts and bolts, the number plate nuts and bolts, because they just wouldn't be strong enough, and I don't think they'd be long enough either actually. So a couple of set screws, and over the plate, fit through straight onto the original fittings. Then you can slide it backwards and forwards to get the center point, and the job will be done. So there you have it, a nice simple way to hopefully keep the mud off the back of your bike. I must admit I'm quite pleased with this. It seems like a good quality reflector. I had a spare Honda badge and I popped it on just to make it look nicer, and now I'll just spray the aluminium to keep the corrosion off and bolt it all up, and hopefully that will keep a bit of muck off the back and won't look too bad. And then at some point I'll reuse this old flexible mud flap that I've had for years, and I'll probably back it so it's got more strength, and then put it onto the back of the Honda Hornet, which is behind me in hibernation. So the Honda Hornet's waiting to have a few jobs done, and that might well be one of them. Nearly finished the winter work on the Blackbird. Just one or two little minor things to do, but it's pretty well ready for spring when that comes. I shan't be using it before then, of course. I'm too old now for riding large bikes in the winter. But yeah, I just thought it might be interesting for someone, and to see that they can improve the mud flap situation if they want to.